back, starter fluid.
This is exactly how I imagined a Jackie Ding video to start.
Yeah, that's their characteristics.
A few videos ago, I talked about a guy named Jackie Ding. Who is a GTA and Gridlife driver who does insane time attack. Well, maybe not so much GTA anymore. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Good one.
But he drives this supercharged S2000 behind me, and the thing I like about Jackie isn't that he drives a S2000, isn't that he works on his own car, isn't that he's filming this stuff, it's that he has no self-preservation. The things Jackie does behind the wheel on the regular are like season highlights for most people. I've never watched a video of yours and been disappointed with the action.
Hello everyone, my name is Jackie Ding. I'm 21 years old. I drive a little S2000 that I bought as stock, and it's been my biggest mistake over the last 3 years. Slowly over time, it went from having, you know, a stock convertible. I took it to the beach, took it to the highway, drive it around daily, to I still daily that thing. It's really bad, and it's probably not good for my health anymore. But I have fun with it, and I love time attack. So.
What are the big highlights of this car? I mean, obviously it's supercharged, so that's like a big selling point of power. You're making over 400 wheel now?
We just died at over 450, which is kind of crazy, not gonna lie, considering most of my life I've driven cars with about 200, maybe 220. And then suddenly jump into a car with 450, it's like, okay, that's a big step. You feel it. You feel the difference in how to like drive the two, especially. Other than that, we have some, you know, much better tires, wheel setup, suspension, Reinhardt, it's all custom, custom valve, much stiffer springs, sway bar from ABOC, we have Aero from BM Spec also. The hardtop is from Group A Motorsport. Everybody helped chipped in, brakes from StopTech. All of these things help make the car a lot better through the corners, and also how to put the power down. I think that's the big part here.
So 21, how did you get into this? Because like I'm 31, okay? I'm literally 10 years older than you, and I'm like just kind of starting to get regular into track days and stuff, right? You're out here running like full-blown time attacks on a car that you, and we'll talk about this in a minute too, the reliability of this S2000.
Oh.
But like, what got you into this, and how did it become such a serious thing for you?
So for me, like, as a kid, I always wanted to do racing, right? Ever since I was 4-year-old, I saw one F1 race on TV back in China on this tiny little black and white TV screen. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, it got my heart going. I think it was a Ferrari, a Monza, and the way it blasts down, you see the grandstand is all red, and then you see the car that's flying past, and the sound, the noise, everything, the vibration of it. I was hooked all night. And then since then, I've been wanting to do Formula racing. So when I got to America, I started doing some, you know, rental go-karting at Summit Point. Loved the place. They had a little go-kart circuit specifically, and I went there almost every weekend, every Sunday. I'd go just laps. Started doing races, started doing, you know, just trying to time trial, trying to get under 60 seconds at that long, you know, outdoor go-kart track. And sometimes I could get under, sometimes I couldn't, but I always try to keep pushing and do my better. And then at one point I said, okay, go-kart is good, but I need to do more. So I started doing Skip Barber Racing School. That's where I really moved into, you know, big, kind of real cars, competitions. Did their racing school, the 3-day and 2-day, and did their racing series. Did a couple years of that. Met Jonathan Scalaro of Group A Racing, based in New York. And from there we went into, you know, Formula Lights back then. It was the SCCA. Now kind of rolled into the F3 Americas series, and also did F4 as well. And then after that, it's expensive. There was no more money left in the bank account, and I have a sister that needs to go to college later on.
So our apologies for the lawnmower, but this is actually good because this is how Jackie Ding's style is. It doesn't matter where, when, how, or whatever. That car's getting to the track, so this video is happening with or without that fucking lawnmower.
Yes, it always happens.
And as far as like reliability on this car, like if I watch your videos, which I do like religiously now, and not for that long, honestly, like you're at like 8,000-9,000 subscribers right now.
Just overtook 9, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's something that blows my mind because you're somebody who is like, people are more likely to follow some boring car reviewer who basically gives you no more information than you could get by reading a 3-second blurb on an Instagram post. But you're out there racing this thing. Like, you're out there doing work. Like, here's the thing, like, what you got to remember is that, like, every, and that,
Sorry.
honestly, your car probably just pissed itself seeing a tow truck. It's
Again.
like, not me.
Again.
But like, and not to shit on YouTubers, I'm like one of them, but like, there's things that you do that I can't do.
Right.
And it would take me years to learn how to get to that level. But even then, like I
Month, days.
said, let's talk about reliability on this car, because it has not been.
That's been the bane of my existence for this year at the very least, because before I always had a naturally aspirated car, and it was bulletproof. I could take it a button wheel, not have to do a single thing to it, and it'd run all day. I could go anywhere I want, and I drive it to New Jersey. Broke a wheel bearing on the way.
By the way, we're in Michigan right now, so just so you have an idea
Yes.
of what that means.
I was prepared to drive that thing all the way down to Texas until it broke. That's the thing, because the moment I strapped on the supercharger, it kind of just, everything was like, nope, no more. Like, the reliability is kind of taken really, really big downturn. So for me, like, it bothers me that I've been fixing the car more often than I've been actually out there driving the car.
Yeah.
Because I've always been the other way around. I can't drive cars really well, but I can't fix it. So I had to rely on other people to help me fix it.
That's really frustrating, and you have to rely on people to fix them like on hours' notice.
Yep.
So, and
That's the painful part, because then you're like, okay, because I had Brian in Bauhaus Racing. He used to help me out a lot, and I used to be like, okay, Brian, I need to do this. He's like, when? Tonight. Why? Because we're leaving tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, then he has work. He recently just had a child as well, so that's why he couldn't do it anymore. And I was like, okay, totally understand, because family comes first. So that's why now I have to go to Chicago, 4 hours away, to go to TF Works, and they're helping me out, massively. Mikey and Mike Lee, everybody out there in the shop is, helping prepare this car, because there's a lot of things that I can do, but then I can't do like engine. I can't do the really important stuff. I don't know how to do any of those.
well, plus you don't want to be testing it out too, especially if it's like safety stuff, if it's brakes, suspension, things that like keep you alive.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch any of those. No.
Like, I'll bleed my brakes, I'll change some pads and stuff, but like, I don't change lines. I
Right.
learned that lesson the hard way last year.
Oh, was there insert a clip here?
They failed.
Yeah.
I found this in the parking lot. I assume it's yours.
This
Is that
has to
mine?
be yours.
Is that mine?
It,
Oh my God.
If you can't see this, it's a broken Husky socket, and clearly
It must
Jack-
be mine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who are you running with right now? Because I know you run a lot with Gridlife. I saw a little thing happen with GTA, Global Time Attack.
Right.
So, like, what are your goals for the rest of this season, and where do you want to be?
I think for this season, we're gonna just pretty much solely focus on Gridlife, at least for this car and my own campaign. Gridlife has been, the series we kind of started Time Attack in. I love the concept, I love the idea, I love the people behind it, I love the execution. You go there, it's fun, it's vibrant. You have extremely stiff competition, but everybody is a friend. Everybody is welcoming and reaching out. And if you have problems, they will help. My first Time Attack at Gridlife was in Mid-Ohio, and I went there with a stock, bone stock S2000 with stock brakes, pretty much stock pads, Pilot Super Sports. It's not even like the 200 Tedwards, and staggered, and everything was set up wrong. And I went there and I fried my brakes in one session. I had no idea how to do it. And there was 7 S2000 owners who came and helped me out and changed my brakes, changed everything, helped me bleed the brakes, and it ended up getting third for the weekend in my class, which I thought was crazy. And I got on the podium. Everybody was like, yo, what the hell is that kid driving? Because they have no idea what, I had my Chinese name on it, because that's what the driver license said. And everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? We didn't even see him. Who the hell is he? I'm like, S2000. And they're like, hi, I got the trophy, just ran off. And I was out, bye. But since then, it sucked me in. The concept of Time Attack is just, it fits me so well. Because I've always been the kind of 100% driver. I physically cannot drive at like 95%. For me, driving 95%, I might as well just go to sleep. So Time Attack just ended up being such a big love for me that I'm like, okay, I love doing this. Let's keep doing it. Next time I'm gonna do tires. Next time I'm gonna do aero. Next time I'm gonna do a little more power. Next time and then they're snowballed into this.
Trying not to make these look like your pubes.
Can we make that can we put that in the final cut?
So I did see recently that you were at a Global Time Attack event,
Yep.
and there were a few things that were going wrong with the car,
Yep.
and at the same time you were also like struggling to make sure that happened, struggling to make sure that you were like waking up in time for this event,
Oh.
and then you didn't have like your registration in the car and some things like that. So like, what happened? And I could tell by the Instagram stories that you were like pretty soured by the event, and
There were some frustrations, let me just say, because we've been doing GTA for pretty much exactly a year. We started last year with GTA Road Atlanta, and this year with Road Atlanta as well. It's been kind of difficult because at times we would feel, you know, especially with Fiona also, who isn't here because she's dead asleep.
Fiona is Jackie's teammate and also drives an S2000. She has the Pikachu S2000, so it's very, very recognizable on track.
It's distinct. You see it, you know. With her, last year we couldn't get the M3 ready in time for Button Willow, so we had to go get a rental car.
Okay.
And funny enough, another friend of ours who is a GTA regular brought the exact same Camaro V8 automatic on run flat rental cars. So then they both show up and they're like exact same cars, except on different license plate. One guy Alex goes to tech, gets past, you know, oh GTA regular, oh how you doing, Alex? I don't see you in a while. Passes with nothing. Fiona goes to tech and suddenly is shitstorm. Like, okay, why is this car like, oh, this is not your car, is it? You can't have this, you can't have run flats because it doesn't have the treadwear rating on it. You better not podium or DQ you because we don't know what the tire is. So it's just little things slowly pile up. And I'm not saying we didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Because let me be honest. We overslept. Fiona, me, her parents, and her brother, we overslept. The driver's meeting, which you're not supposed to, but we had a team representative there, which is technically allowed by the rules.
Sure.
We overslept because the night before we had to fix up my damn car. I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm really, really sorry. But, like, little things.
Yeah, and so that's like, I definitely like sympathize with this because I'm the type of person where like I'm always trying to be by the book, I'm always trying to do this stuff, but like life just doesn't happen that way sometimes. When there's no forgiveness for like kind of like minor offenses, I guess, or like, you know, just like have a heart, you know, like look at what's going on. Like we're gonna be safe, we're gonna do this by the book, we're gonna do everything right. Sorry I wasn't here for like that first situation, but yeah.
I do apologize,
so,
you know, but
no, and that's the thing, you own your responsibility, but sometimes you're kind of like, whoa, like I didn't expect that reaction by it.
Right, so
you're gonna focus more on Gridlife this season?
Yeah, for sure. I think Gridlife is our primary focus from here. We love the people. We love Chris, who is running the whole event. We love Adam and the whole guys behind Time Attack. And going to a Gridlife event makes me feel like, okay, we're having fun, you know? Every time we're at the Gridlife, even if we're not having, you know, doing so well, we can still be having fun. Like when I bin my car in Middle Ohio, okay, well the car's on the trailer, what do? Pick up a camera, let's go see how Fiona does. And she goes out and run her best time and we're all happy and cheering for her. And it's just happy. Like people can come back and make jokes about the car, like undoing Jackie driving after I binned the car. And it's hilarious. It's funny. Like even I love the jokes when it's pointed at me. So it's enjoyable, you know, like having people who wants to be around you and who has fun when they're around you. It's exciting to be.
So guys, this is Jackie Ding. Go follow him on YouTube and Instagram. I think you're like a genuine inspiration for people who are grassroots racers, especially because you're young, you're like just always finding a way. And a lot of times, like even I look at some of these guys, they come out with these like trailers. They could build a car in 24 hours at the track with the tools they have.
Yeah.
And you're out here with this thing, and from this distance, looks fantastic.
Oh, don't go any closer.
When we get a little closer, like there's some clapped out shit, and that's when I'm like, my God, this guy's up on podiums with that thing, while other people are coming in with race trailers. So I guess my point is, if you've got the drive to do it, you can do it. So Jackie, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Me and Chris are gonna be off to, I love this lawnmower right now. This is absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna yell,
sorry.
Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Fuck me.
Story. Just a couple days ago, we were at TF, like basically the entire rear trunk got destroyed because we were at Road Atlanta. A couple things broke. The coupler was kept blowing off, so we had to basically redo all of it. The supercharger. Basically, they re-welded on a whole, like a little bead roll onto it to stop this thing from blowing off. A new coupler, new clamps, and everything. I was also on that side as well because this thing has just been having constant trouble. Like this part just entirely getting blown off, and all the boosters leaking out, and then suddenly on track you have no power. You hear it, you hear the whoosh, but you have no power. Like suddenly, nothing.